Are you wanting to remove someone from a photo, whether it be a cheater, or a bitch, or some combination of the two? I'm here to help. In a sea of crappy tutorials that never work on real photos, I'm going to go through step by step on a hard one just using the basic Photoshop tools. So the first thing I want to do is cut off her legs. We can simulate this by copying sections of our leg and pasting them over the top of hers. It's only fair that if she puts a leg over someone else, I can put a leg over her. You'll want to smooth the edges with the rubber and then stretch out the pieces to fit. The next thing you want to do is select the area you want to fix and copy that shape from a similar looking area. Copy and paste and move it over on top of her leg. Unlike Rachel, we will be using a rubber. For us, it's a great non-destructive tool that smooths the edges off. Like Rachel, you'll want to fill any gap in your jeans. Next, you finally need to draw the line around her leg. Refine edge, then move Shift Edge, slider, up to the top, then apply some smoothing. Then, like before, copy from the background and use it to cover up the leg. Some of you may be better or worse at cover-ups, but some of us are good at knowing when we're being lied to. So just merge the layers and use the spot healing tool to fix the edges. What I'm doing is making a copy of the hand so that I can use it later, despite being told that if you use a hand it doesn't count. Now we need to make a new arm. We'll have to use what we've got and copy a section from the top and paste it below. Then you'll want to stretch it until it kind of fits. If you need any pointers, I've heard Rachel is well versed in this manoeuvre. You just want to rub out the edges and do a bit more patchwork to fill in the gaps. And for the last time, she's left some cream around your hand, so you're just going to want to rub that out. So I'm just tidying up the layers on the right. We wouldn't want to leave anything laying about, would we? So I'm just going to put her hand under my shirt, just for old time's sake. It helps if you use a bigger selection than I did here for when you're rubbing out the corners. Going on to image adjustment brightness and making it darker. That is how she likes them. Next we need to work on getting this weight off my shoulders. Again, you're going to want to copy it from the background and paste it in and rub out the corners. Similar to before, we're going to highlight around the arm and use the top to hide it. So here I'm merging the two layers. This is called a destructive edit. It should normally be avoided because it means you can't go back later and change it because the two images have been burnt together. But if anyone's going to be accused of being destructive, it's certainly not me. The advantage of this though is that you can use the spot healing brush to easily cover up the lines. Finally, just tidying up the collar because I never was a V-neck kind of guy anyway. This part will be the hardest, so we'll need to tackle it face on. Start to draw a silhouette around yourself and copy and paste the background over her. And as always, smooth out the edges. So the background is a bigger mess than Rachel, so we're going to use the patch tool so we can smooth out all of these rough bushes and fix the road in the background. Brilliant, that's a nice and tidy bush, for once. Just making this area lighter, which of course is the polar opposite of you, getting heavier over the years. But I'm looking after my waistline by using a section from my jumper and rubbing out the edges with a soft brush. Because of the darker gradient, I'm using an almost transparent black brush to create a shadow. Unlike Rachel, I'm not going to jump on the hard bit just yet, so I just want to tidy up some of the weird looking areas first. Firstly, my arm's looking a bit skinny, so I'm going to utilise Everythot's favourite tool and right click and use Warp. Anyone out there looking to use this tool, please just put it on a new layer so you don't destroy the background. Next, I need to fill the gap you left in my arms. Unfortunately, the only way I've been able to do this is by copying from the background. Again, I'm organising the layers at the side and renaming them to help it later, because if drinking and playing games for the last 4 weeks have taught me anything, is that I need to get my life together. This is the hardest part because I need to create a whole new arm, so I'm going to do some cheating myself and mirror the other arm. Then, using all the patchwork methods I've used throughout, I'm trying to make it look as natural as possible. Unless you have a traditional artistic ability, you may struggle with the correct proportions as I am here. But while I don't have an art background, I did get a D in psychology, and there I learnt that weapon focus often causes witnesses to miss minor details. Just cut out a gun or any weapon using the quick selection tool and put it into place. Here we can use the copy of the hand I made earlier to make it look like I'm holding the gun. Finally, we're adjusting the brightness because it gets a bit darker from here. But we're going to want a steady aim, so I'm putting in another hand and using brightness and colour balance to match the skin tone. You may have noticed I have a bit of a chip on my shoulder, so I just wanted to go ahead and fix that. Now, the final touch for me is putting a bullet in his thick skull for ruining my life!